Yeah, we're back. You know, the cold weather can really take a toll on our skin, and many of the steps we're taking to keep our bodies warm actually are removing moisture from the skin.
Yeah, essentially. So whenever we turn on the heater, we're drying our skin out. This morning, however, we are joined with Dr. Natalie Hone with the Skin People in Bel Air to chat with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Doctor. 'Tis the season. The weather is really dry. We were just complaining about this. You know, I think I'm probably doing everything wrong. So fill us in. What are some of the steps that some things people may be doing right now that just are not helping their skin out?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. And yes, absolutely. So when the weather gets a little bit colder, the first thing we'll do is turn on the heaters at our home, and that's fine, or stand in front of like a fireplace, right? But that is really going to decrease the amount of humidity where you're at, and so that's going to dry out your skin. So it's okay, but you definitely want to artificially do what you're losing. So that means you want to be using more moisturizer. And things that people tend to do wrong as well is you want to get in a shower that's really hot for a long time, or a tub, and that is going to strip the moisture off your skin. So you want to keep those showers short, about 5 minutes. Water should be warm, and then a gentle fragrance-free soap. And as soon as you get out of the shower, when your skin is wet, you just pat dry, and that's when, if you apply the moisturizer, it's really going to work well.
After you pat dry. So timing's kind of important, right?
It is.
You can't necessarily apply it to wet skin.
No, not to wet skin, but it does absorb better if your skin's somewhat moist. So dry skin just does not absorb it as well as moist skin.
So like if I'm waiting to the point where my fingers are cracking and now I'm finally putting lotion on, it's like too late.
Yes, or I would say just soak your hands, wash your hands, soak them under warm water for like a minute, and then you apply the moisturizer on top. It's going to help a ton.
Okay.
When we're talking about moisturizers, they're not all the same necessarily, right? So kind of walk us through when we're talking about creams or moisturizers, what do you kind of recommend this time of year?
Yeah, and it's not so much the brand, it's more what you will see the vehicle it's in. And so it'll tell you if it's a lotion versus a cream versus an ointment. So you really want to be using things like ointments, which are going to cover the area a little bit better. And so that's best for areas like elbows, hands, heels of the feet when they're cracked, and then things like creams or moisturizers will be great in the winter. In the summer, you want something that has a little higher alcohol content, so it absorbs a little bit easier. And so those will be things like gels. Little say gel or lotion.
Should we? I feel like we should be paying a little more attention to the humidity numbers in the morning weather forecast, because we'll get even dry days, I guess, like late spring. Even in the summer, we'll have a couple.
Exactly. Yes. So dry, you will notice it right away. Most people notice their lips start getting a little bit chapped. That's another thing we do. You know, the first thing we want to do is lick our lips because it's going to feel like it's going to hydrate it, but it's actually really drying and irritating. So something like an ointment, so like Vaseline type things to apply on the lips before you head out for the day, and then a couple times during the day is going to be really helpful.
Okay. I like that sort of preventative steps you can take. So maybe on your lips, anything particularly for your face or hands as you walk out?
Yes, I would say eyelids at night, really thin skin, so you want to apply something like ointment there too. And then on the hands, if you could put a moisturizer or an ointment and then apply gloves before you head out with the cold weather. That's going to be helpful.
Key.
I feel like one thing we talk about in Houston, and especially in the summer, because we get that good humidity, it's good for our skin.
It is.
So we really should be changing, if you have a skin routine, changing it to a certain extent, at least once a year, going to like a winter versus a summer product of some kind.
That's a perfect patient, right? If you're able to switch a little bit in the winter months compared to the summer, your skin needs different things. So you will need different products. So it's best to get an evaluation by a dermatologist. They can help you figure out what works, one, for your skin and your sensitivities, but also how you can transition different weathers.
I've been using the same thing for like 20 years.
Okay.
Like, every month is like, who knew? Ah, well, now we know.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any common misconceptions that people think? I mean, the licking of the lips is probably a good idea. Are there other things we're doing that we just probably shouldn't be?
I think one thing we're not doing in the winter is we forget about sunscreen. So sunscreen, as a dermatologist, we have to talk about this. Everybody needs sunscreen the whole year. We were just talking about a friend who just did the marathon and they got a sunburn, right? So even though it's cloudy, there's always going to be some level of sun exposure. So you want to apply, your sunscreen needs to be one of your steps in the morning after your moisturizer.
So important. Yes, so important, especially in Houston year round.
Think about it for the winter. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, part of your regimen.
I like it. All right. I got to up my skincare game over here. Okay. Well, doctor, we so appreciate it. Thank you so much for walking us through it.
Yep. Dr. Natalie Hone with the Skin People of Bel Air.